Hey everyone, thanks for joining. We're doing another live stream today, and it's going to be a little bit of a different one. I'm not going to build Tempest today. Instead, we're going to work on this thing you're seeing on screen. Let me give you a little bit of context before we dive in. I was talking to my colleague Roman. I also do a PHP annotated monthly on this channel with him, and we were talking about RFCs and how it would be very interesting to know how the community feels about RFCs. Because look, there's a small group of internal people who can vote on RFCs and who decide how PHP changes, right? And I would just be interested to know in how the community feels about specific RFCs, because I have this feeling that for some RFCs, not every RFC, but for some RFCs, like the community and internals are not 100% aligned. And I think it would be interesting to visualize that. People could join internals mailing list. Everyone is welcome there, but it's quite cumbersome. And so I want a little bit more of an easy way to interact and allow the community to basically voice their opinion. So yeah, that's what we're going to build today, I hope. It's going to be a Laravel application. Tempest isn't ready yet. And the UI should be very simple. So there's this huge progress bar style thing that shows how many people vote yes and people vote no. And for the record, these are just normal userland people. These aren't internals. Everyone can vote as long as you register. So that's basically the main element on this page. But I also want the ability to add arguments. Because it's often very interesting to read about why people vote yes or no, or why they want a feature or why they oppose it. And so there's the optional feature of being able to add your own argument for an RFC to explain basically why you voted yes or no. And then other people can upvote arguments again. So popular arguments will rise to the top. And I hope that if this thing goes live and people actually use it, that you will get like a quick overview of how the community feels about an RFC, and more important, why. So yeah, that's what we're going to build today. That's the idea. By the way, if you're on Twitter, maybe this is the good time to share a link to the stream on your Twitter, just to get some more people here, because I would love to hear your thoughts while we're coding this, and yeah, have some interaction here. I must warn you, I am not a good front-end developer. So I hope to open source this today or tomorrow, we'll see. And I hope to get some help, especially for the front-end stuff. But I'll try my best to get something to work. Yeah, so I have a basic Laravel application here. This is just Laravel new, and I installed, let me see, Composer. I installed Jetstream, which installs Sanctum, I think, and Livewire as well. That's an important one, because I want some interactivity basically, and I know how Livewire works. So yeah, I think we can start. I have Tailwind installed as well, and this is my homepage, and that's where we are at the moment. So yeah, someone is already asking if it will use Folio and Volt. No, it won't. Folio wouldn't make any sense because this is a dynamic application. Volt, which is like the Livewire, the new way of interacting with Livewire state without having to create PHP components, could be interesting, but I just want to get something going for now, right? So yeah, basically, let's get started. First thing I want to do is to create some models. So we're going to have an RFC, which has a title and a link. Let's call it URL. And I also have some notes here, by the way. Let's take a quick look. It's going to have count yes, which is, let's say it's a big integer, and count no, also a big integer. I assume this will be a very popular application. So let's make sure we can count to pretty high numbers. I think that's it for an RFC. Don't ask again. Yes, I think this looks good. And let's create 2 other models as well. Model vote, which will have a user ID. It's going to be an unsigned big integer and an RFC ID, because we want to keep track which user voted for which RFC. Let's do it like that. Model class already exists. You know why that is? That is because I was prototyping some stuff. Yeah, this is good. Let's do that again. Let's create a model vote user ID and RFC ID. That's all we need. Generate. And then we also want another model called arguments, which has a user ID, which has a RFC ID, and it also has body text. I don't know. Let's say body for now. Let's make it long text. And let me double check here that I wanted to add some more things. Oh yeah, and an argument also has a vote count, right? Which is an unsigned big integer. Okay, generate. And that reminds me, I also want... let's close some files first. In our votes table, we need to know whether it's yes or no, right? So let's say string type. And that's going to be an enum. In this case, I actually want a proper reference, so user ID. Let's get rid of this. And RFC ID. That's good. Let's take care of this one as well. So reference user and reference RFC. Body for arguments is required, and vote count default 0, and the same should be for RFCs, of course. Default 0, default 0. Let's take a look at comments, by the way. Oh yeah, I'm not always looking at my comments, so I might be a little late answering comments, like chat, but I'll try my best to answer every question. So another good question: would GitHub Socialite make sense? Yeah, definitely. If this, I'm going to prototype something today, and then I'm going to work on it some more afterwards. But I think it's a good feature, and it's basically built into to Laravel, so it wouldn't be that difficult to add. Okay, so we have RFCs, we have arguments, and we have votes, right? And we also already have users because they are basically included with Laravel by default. Next thing I want to do is to create some factories, which are already generated, luckily, but let's see what I want to do here. So for arguments, word, let's say vote count is always 0 to start with, and count yes and count no is also 0, and vote, yeah, I mean, these should probably be refactored to something like RFC factory create, like this, user factory create. Should probably do that for the other ones as well. So function user factory create, and once more, user factory create. So, and immediately I want to add some seeds here so that I have some data to work with, basically. So let's take a look at my notes again. What do I need? Let's make the first user is going to be like the admin user, which is going to be me. Brent. Oh. And my email. Like this. Is admin is true. Let me actually double check. I think during my sketching phase, by the I did add. Oh, I already added that column. I think is admin. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's something I didn't explain yet. But I also want to include some kind of reputation field. So when users interact, when they vote for arguments and for RFCs, and when they vote for when they create arguments, they gain reputation, basically. And we might actually use that reputation to boost specific arguments, to highlight them, stuff like that. So yeah. Question here in chat: how do you use this RFCE shortcut in migration? Like this ref? You mean like this ref? That's just a live template I created. Live template, and let's search for ref. So basically that's it. You can't see that at full, but it's just a shortcut to generate some text, basically. So yeah, okay. Database seeder. We have our user, our main user, and next we're going to create a couple of users. Users equal user factory. Let's say count 200, and create all of them. And let's create some RFCs. RFC factory count. Let's say 20. Create. Okay. Now we're going to loop over all our RFCs as RFC. And for all RFCs, we want to add some votes, basically, for each users as user. So let's say vote create vote factory. I'm sorry. Create for and I'm just going to write some code immediately because I don't want to do this twice. Let's say we have our user model. Oh, there was some code here as well that I left behind. Our user model, it has a method add vote, which takes an RFC, and a vote type, which is that enum I was talking about. Let's add it. Vote type is an enum. String case yes is yes, and no is no. Okay, and we have to vote type. If we go to vote and we say casts a type, I think it was called type equals. Oh, by the way, let me generate. I reset my font size. That's annoying. Font size. I pressed the wrong shortcut. Type equals vote type. Okay, so Laravel knows that it should cast everything. So when we add a vote for an RFC and a vote type, we're going to return vote. Let's say return vote, create user ID. Ooh, is this ID. RFC ID is RFC ID type. Ooh, is vote type. That's actually not to type. And did we need anything else? Table, I can actually like this, I suppose. ID, no, nothing. Okay, that's good. Let's say public function add argument. Maybe I should rename this to create vote. Create argument, which returns an argument and takes the same RFC, but instead of a type, it takes string body, I think we called it, and will return argument create user ID, this ID. Then we have RFC ID, which is RFC ID. Then we have body, which is body, right? Okay, I think that should work. Let's say we'll just create a vote and argument for every user for every RFC at the moment. So let's say user create vote for RFC, and it should. Do I have access to Faker here? No, I don't. Array rand vote. Ooh, vote type cases. Yeah, that should be fine. And user create argument for RFC with just an empty body. Foo, something like this. Let's try this out. Migrate fresh and seed. Create vote must be of type vote type int given. Yeah, sure, because array rand, it gives us an... I can do it like this. Well, let's say types equals collect cases. Array rand returns the key, I think. Let's say types random. Should work. Yep. It takes a while. That's fine. I'm gonna take a look at chat at the moment. Are you saying I'm writing my enums wrong? Hang on a second. Vote type. Oh yeah. Thanks for pointing that out. Dwayne is asking what is an RFC. An RFC is a proposal for a change or a new feature in PHP, and people vote for it. And when enough people vote for it, usually it's 2/3 of a majority, then that feature is added. If you take a look at wiki.php.net/RFC, you get a list of things that are under discussion, things that are drafted, things that are accepted, and this is basically the way PHP evolves and is built. Good point here. I can access Faker through the container. Cool. And the fake helper should work. Is that really is that a thing? Fake. Look at that. Yeah, pretty nice. I learned something. Thanks. Cool. Thanks for teaching me Laravel. Let's take a look at my database here. Let's refresh it. I've got some RFCs. Yep, cool. And I've got some votes, I would suppose. Yep, looking good. And also some arguments. Yeah, that's fine as well. So we have some dummy data in place. Let's start building our controller, right? I have a home controller. And this, for now, should show all RFCs and make it so that we can click through to the detail page, basically. So also, let's create a, let's call RFC controller, say detail, because I like invocable controllers, which takes an RFC like this. let's dump it out for now. So in our home, we want RFC all, basically. RFCs, return view home, RFCs. Ooh, RFCs. Like this. And next, we'll add a route to this controller. Route get slash RFC slash RFC, like this. RFC detail controller class. Okay, cool. In our home controller, I already have some Tailwind stuff set up here, but that's just boilerplate. So we'll loop over all our RFCs as RFC. It's a difficult thing to end for each. Once again, I'm just fighting my keyboard here because my microphone is in the way. Let's say we link action RFC detail controller. We pass the class, pass the RFC, and here we have RFC title, like so. Okay, cool. And we're in our controller. Cool. Okay, now we can actually build something, right? You know what we forgot? When we go to our user model here, we create a vote, we create an argument. In this case, we also want to update our RFC, the count, the vote count. I mean, so if type is vote type yes, we'll say RFC update count yes here, and we say RFC count yes +1, and otherwise else we say count no. Okay, let's reseed here so that our numbers are correct. And this takes a while, but it doesn't really matter. You know what? I can actually database seeder, and let's say I'll only make one RFC for now. That speeds it up significantly. Okay, so we're still here, and let's take a look. Count yes and no are both 100. Makes sense because we have a 50-50% chance. Actually, let's change that. Instead of doing this, let's say fake random element. I know, let's do it like this: Boolean chance of getting through. Let's say 70. And we say vote type yes. Otherwise, vote type no. Just to have a little bit of like variation, basically. Hey, I'm learning quite a lot of things here when looking at chat. Let's take a look. You can use RFC increment count no. That's pretty cool. Let's do that. RFC increment count. Nice. Like so. Cool. Thanks. And I should use DB transaction. That's absolutely right. Let's do that. DB transaction. Let's wrap these in a transaction. Can you return from a transaction? Return. Try callback result. Yeah, I guess you can. Return callback result, which is nice because then we can do something like this. Yeah, and then we have to add those. Migrate again. Cool. Thanks for letting me know. Learned something new once again. So here we're back, and let's take a look here. Count yes. Yeah, this seems more like it's 70% yes. Perfect. Let's go to our wireframes here. So what we want to show is like this bar, and we want to show arguments in favor of yes on the left and in favor of no on the right. Okay. So that's in our detail controller here. Going to have to make a view. So return view RFC. Let's create it. And I don't actually think I have a base view yet. So let's take a look at layout. So base plate slots. Like so, and then we can say component layouts.base and component. Did I get that right? I probably I shouldn't do it. Yep. Okay, that works perfect. So let's say this. Oh, that's the wrong file. RFC over here and components. Cool. And so we click through, and then let's say return view like so. Okay, nice. However, I also need this. My beautiful Tailwind container class thing. So RFC title, I suppose. Yep. Let's say H1. Okay, and one more change I'm going to make to my database header here is, let's say, create title and what was it called? Interface default methods. Just so that we're working with a little bit more, yeah, better. That's better. Okay, so we have our title, and then we want to, I have to look at my notes again, because vote. What I want to do here is to make this a live wire component. Basically, vote bar is what I called it. Yeah. I want to make this bar the live wire component and make it so that you can basically click on any of these two and just make your vote that way. Okay. So let's create a live wire component and let's call it vote bar. I hope that's a good name. Otherwise we can refactor it. And it has public RFC. It has the RFC attached. And we're going to do some stuff. Here. First, let's include it here. So livewire vote bar RFC equals RFC, like that. Okay, cool. And now I'm going to carefully copy some Tailwind classes. Let's take a look. Border. Okay. Oh, I have to npm run dev probably. Border gray for now, 700 is good. Border 8. It's gonna flex and be rounded a bit, and it has a shadow, XL, font bold, why not, and font mono. And then we have, this will be our yes bar, and this will be our no bar, basically. So in it, it will has RFC vote count yes, and this will be RFC count no. And let's do some styling here as well. So this one will be green, BG green 200, text green 800, 900, padding 4, flex grow. It's important. Text left in this case, border right for border gray. Ooh, gray, 700. And then we're gonna, well, not, let's wait with that. Let's copy this for our red and border left and text right. Let's take a look. Okay, cool. I think let's take a look here. This is our bar. This is our live wire component. Over here we have a grid of 3 columns. Yeah, I should probably wrap this in a div and say class call span 3. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So that's already that. Now we have to position our bar correctly, of course. And for that we need like the relative, like the percentage amount of float bar. Yeah, we need the percentage basically. I don't know the English term. So percentage yes, basically, and percentage no. Let's build that. That can be, I guess. Let's actually take a look at my notes once again. Ooh. Yeah, okay. So percentage yes will return attribute and return attribute make. That's the wrong. I really think this is a mistake in Laravel, by the way, that they call this thing attribute for mutators and accessors, because attribute is already a PHP term. But yeah, okay. Round, we say this count yes time divided by the total amount, which is also an attribute, which is also add total. Let's say count total, which returns this count yes and sum this count no. Ooh, like this. Oh, I pressed the wrong button again. I have the shorthand for generating my IDE helpers, and but it's right beside another button. Let me. I'm going to remove this one because remove. Okay. Like so. Okay, so this count yes divided by this count total, and that times 100. Then we have our percentage no as well, which is the same for no. And now let's, ooh, that's some weird styling. RFC percentage yes. Let's write that out as well. And percentage no. Let's take a look. 70, 30. Okay. Let's add percent here, and let's say our count will be small between brackets. Why not? Like I said, I'm not a front-end designer thing, so I'm just doing some stuff. And I hope someone will be able to help me. And now we add one more thing, style, over here. Let's take a look. Let's say width equals vote percentage yes, percent, like this. And then the same for the no bar. It's not called vote, it's called RFC. I mixed some things up. 70%, that's right. Hang on a second. Is this width is 70%, width is 30%? Why is it mixed up? Why is it the other way around? That's hey Richard, for know that the border width is ridiculous. I will change it. I will change it. It's just I did. This is prototype, so let's do it like this. I hope this is better. Thanks for pointing that out. Why doesn't this work? I mixed something up. Oh, I see it. Yeah. Okay, cool. 70-30, I guess that's right. Now we want to make it interactive. Now we want to make it so that when you click, you give a vote. These yeah, class strings become pretty big. But so if we hover, we say bg green maybe 600, and on hover text white. Let's take a look. Yeah, okay. And hover pointer. I don't know, pointer, cursor pointer, I don't know. Tailwind, cursor pointer, of course. Okay, cool. And then the same for our red bar, red. Okay, and this is the way you can cast your vote. And now we'll add some livewire events, basically. Of course, you have to be logged in to do this. So we'll have to make some, we'll have to do some checks, basically. So add, no, not add, wire click equals, like this. And let's go to our vote bar component here. Vote yes, returns void. Vote no, also returns void. And we will need a user here. So let's say public nullable user equals null. And if not, if user doesn't exist, when we try to click it, we'll just redirect to the login page, basically. But let me take a look at my notes. Because I don't know how to do this. It was this. So let's say this redirects route login, like this, and return. But I also wanted to return to the current page, and I don't know if there's an easier way to do this, but what I figured out is you can do URL intended and put it into the session, basically. So RFC detail controller with this RFC. Basically, let me know if there's an easier way to do this, and I'll check chat for a minute. So cool. There's, by the way, this is a good idea. This might be a good idea, but yeah, let me try that actually. Yeah, string vote type, that's better. like so. So if there's no user, and I can use auth user here, of course, thanks. And let's actually refactor this to here. Good. And if there's a user, we can say user create vote. And it takes this RFC and it takes vote type from like this. Okay, will this work? No, it won't work because I still have to change my my wire click here. So let's say vote. Did I call it vote? Yeah, vote. And in this case, it's vote type. No, and I should wrap that in string and vote type. Yes. Okay, I'm not logged in, which is good. JetBrains password, I think. I don't know. Yeah. Save, sure. Begun. And user, oh, okay. Okay, anyone remembers what is it that I need to do to unguard everything? Is it model unguard? Probably. Hey, it works. Now I can keep clicking, which isn't good, of course. Let me, oh, I just saw my avatar. Let's move my camera so that you can see. Yeah. Good. And you can use your enum class in the args, really? So vote type over here. No, you can't. Would be nice. Okay, so a couple of things we need to do. If there's already a vote for this RFC, we shouldn't create a new one. So let's say get vote for RFC for a specific user, of course. RFC returns a vote. Yeah, so return, and then I have to add the vote relation as well. Votes, yeah, votes. Has many, return this. Has many, ooh, has a macro. Ooh, has many vote. And let's go to our vote class here. User belongs to. Return this belongs to user. Ryan is here and he asks, is this for the public community to voice their opinions on RFC? Yeah. Maybe let's quickly show my wireframes again. That's the idea. Yeah, I want to get some insights into how the community feels about specific RFCs, and I think it would be interesting to have a website for that. I was talking about that with Roman, my colleague, who's part of the PHP Foundation as well. So, what I'm also going to build is for users to add their arguments, and people can upvote arguments. And so we can have a little bit of interaction and we can learn about what really lives in the community. So that's what we're building, but we're only here. We still have a long ways to go. So yeah, we have our vote here. That means get for RFC is this votes. Like so, yeah. And first vote RFC ID equals RFC ID. Okay. So existing vote. Let's just say vote is this get vote for RFC. If vote doesn't exist, we'll say vote is new vote with user ID and RFC. Like so. And then we'll say vote save. Can I pass in an array here? I think so. Type is type, like so. And then instead of incrementing, that won't work anymore. We'll have to recalculate basically all votes, because votes can change, right? Let me show you. This should work now. I can give my vote here, and then I give my vote there. And well, yeah, the yes should decrement now. Decrement? Yeah, decrement. So instead of just incrementing, I think the easiest approach here is to recalculate basically everything. Let's take a look. How should I do this? The way I did it, but maybe you have a better idea. I have two relations. Yes votes with where type equals vote type yes, and I have no votes where type equals no. And then I wanted to do it like this. So RFC update count yes, and then we recount them basically. So this, and I have to regenerate yes votes count, and no is like this. Let's check if that works. Yeah, it's recalculated, which is good, but well, it's not changing anything anymore. Let me check chat. Maybe you have a good idea, but you don't. Oh, you know, I did something. I made a mistake. It should be here. Of course, it should be here. So RFC, yes votes, no votes. And then I should go to vote and have the inverse relation as well, which is RFC belongs to RFC. Let's get rid of that and see. Over here should be RFC. Yeah, not much is happening now. Let's just take a look if it actually works. RFC detail controller here. Let's just dump it out. Yes votes count. RFC no votes count. And I'm going to see it again, which has an error. No default value. User line 63. Which field doesn't have a default value? Type doesn't have a default value, but there is a type here. No? It's weird. I'm opening chat again, hoping someone has spotted the error, but no one has. I think what I might need to do is say type. I don't think you can pass an array to save, actually. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay. Okay, so 135 and 65. 135, 65. If I vote here, I have to log in. Okay, 136. If I change it now, this goes back to 135 and this is 66. Yeah, okay, it works now. Okay. Cool. Let's add one more feature here. Just some styling to make it more clear that you've actually voted for a specific item. And now we're going to have conditional Tailwind classes, and now I'm just at a total loss, basically. I don't know what the right pattern is to do here. I'm just going to write it out. Basically, if a user has voted for, should I say has voted yes, no. Oh yeah, there is no user here. See, this is why I want a user in my component anyway. User. It's nullable, but then I can easily access it in my view. So let's just say not this user. Like so, and then we go to a vote bar. Let me say user equals O. Let's do it like this. RFC detail controller user. Let's say auth user, like so. Okay, cool. And then back to our vote bar. If we have get vote for RFC, if it's present, and type equals vote type yes. Let's make it a proper if statement. And if, then we'll do this without a hover. Okay. Yeah, perfect. And else we'll have this. Yeah. Let's copy that over to our other side here as well. BG red. And if it's no. Okay, cool. Okay, let's take a look at the chat here. New vote doesn't contain type. Hang on a second. Vote is new vote. No, that's right, but we set the type here because you can override it. So I only want to do that once. Use auth user again. I really dislike doing these things in views, basically. I just want my variables injected from the component or the controller. So that's why I don't want to do that. Isn't there a new syntax for livewire props? I don't know. You tell me. Okay, instead of using the session facade, you can use redirect intended. After logging in, it will redirect you. Is that something that works in livewire components too? I'm not sure because livewire has like its own implementation, but no, it doesn't. Yeah, so that doesn't work. But it's good to know. I didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know. Cool. So, oh, that's the wrong view. This works, that's pretty nice. And now we want to add the ability to add arguments as well. Actually, there are already quite a few arguments seeded, if all is right. So let's say call span3 for now. And let's loop over. No, actually, we don't need to wrap this in a div. For each, we do front end. It should be flex, I think, because we're going to have a list of our arguments here. So for each RFC arguments, which isn't, I haven't added the relation for that. So function arguments has many arguments, like so. Then go to our argument class and say it vote, no, RFC belongs to RFC, yeah. Okay. Always thinking about the right shortcuts here. Okay, got it. To like regenerate my IDE helper classes. So for each RFC arguments as arguments, we'll have a div and we'll say argument. It should also has a user attached, right? Arguments user belongs to return this belongs to a user. Okay, and again shortcut, yeah. Argument user, let's say name, and let's say argument body, we call it. Yeah, let's take a look if it does something. Yeah, that's nice. But now we want to style it correctly, and again I have a cheat sheet for that. Let's take a look. Ooh. I have to look up the right file here on my laptop. What was it called? Argument. No, it wasn't. It was this. So, oh yeah. Let's say class. This shouldn't be flex, apparently. Oh yeah, we want a flex container for every argument. That's right. Div. And what we're going to do here. Yes, but we want to know whether the argument this user voted yes or no for our for this RFC. So let's say user vote get vote for RFC, and let's say it's nullable, of course. We say type, and what we do here, if we go to our vote type and we add a method get justify string, bear with me, vote type, okay, and we say return match on this. When it's yes, we say justify start, and otherwise we say justify end, like so. And type get justify, and then we say justify. Okay, I would have expected the no arguments. Let's actually add some color here. So once again, in our vote type, we'll say get color. Yes is green and no is red. And then we say class BG. like so. Get color BG red 200. All arguments are yes, which is that correct? I don't know. Let's take a look at our arguments. Well, the votes for no, that's not correct. Of course, that's not correct. No. Let's clean this up a little bit, because if we go to our RFC detail controller, user out user vote equals user, which is optional, get vote for RFC, like this, and then we say user and vote. That's just to clean this up a little bit. Vote. But it's very strange, because vote ID, that shouldn't, yeah, it's always the same vote, basically. That's what I was thinking. Let's take a look. Votes first, where RFC are. Isn't that strange? Shouldn't that work? User belongs to. Weird. Say, look. That's a good point. I might actually justify start, justify end, BG green 200, BG red 200. But of course that doesn't solve this problem. Yeah. Concatenating class names for Tailwind isn't the best practice. That's right. Thanks for pointing it out. So, but like justify is always the same here, because we're always dealing with the same vote, which isn't correct, which means I have made an error somewhere. But I cannot figure it out right now. No, of course we always have the same vote. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. Yeah. We don't need the vote for our current user. We need the vote for for the user that made the argument. Let's do it like this. So vote for user equals argument user get vote for RFC, and we really need to take care of like eager loading issues, but I'm ignoring those for now. Yeah, there already are quite a lot of queries. Yeah, I shouldn't ignore it, but okay, this is what I had to see. But that means we'll just have to refactor this a little bit. Let's think about it for a minute. Let's say RFC equals RFC load. Oh, I can just do it like this, I think. We're going to load some relations here. So what do we need? We need the votes just in total and the arguments. So public function votes has many. Turn this has many vote. That's one. And so we need votes and we need arguments with their user, I think. Let's see if that's enough. So we have our arguments loaded, eagerly loaded, with their user. And let's assume well, no, let's not assume an argument always has a user, and then we need to check whether that user has voted for this RFC, yes or no. So in this RFC, no, we already have, well, I also want it in RFC. Let's say public get vote for user, user, which returns an optional vote, and that returns this votes first vote user ID equals user ID. Yeah, like this. Okay. So now we need to get to vote for user. So we say PHP vote for user is RFC get vote for user. Oh, get vote for user argument user. That's it. And then we, in theory, have less queries. Good. Nice. 9 queries instead of 600, so that's good. I do feel like there is some lag here now. So let's go to my database seeder. I'm going to use 50 users for now. Yeah. This is in vote bar. Yeah. It's good to check this because we aren't logged in now. So it makes sense. Yeah, I forgot. Of course I did. Yeah, okay. Then we can log in again. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so final step is to be able to add an argument for a specific RFC, basically, which is a basic form. And then we need to make sure people can vote for arguments as well. We shouldn't forget about that. I don't know if I'll have time for that today, but we'll see where we get. Let's take a look. Is adding votes appending you to the list below? No, it's not, because the list here are arguments, which is what we're going to build now. People can vote, they can always vote, but if they want to add an additional argument to explain why they voted yes or no, they can do so, and we'll be able to upvote specific arguments, and those arguments with more upvotes will be higher in the list, basically, which is, I think, a good way to learn about people's opinions and arguments, why they voted for something, and it could maybe it might change one or two people's opinion about a feature. So yeah, that's what we need to build still. Yeah. I'm just thinking how I want to. Maybe I should just add a form for now over here where people can add their arguments. I had it as a pop-up here, but I don't think that adds much value. So yeah, okay, let's add it just over here. Let's say add your argument. Okay, and that's a form with method post at CSRF and one field, I guess. Input type is text. Well, let's make it a text area. name equals argument, and a button, a button again, a button type submit. Okay, good. Let's make a controller for that. Store argument controller. Invocable again. Over here we need to request, which is request. Yes. And validated is request validate argument required string, and something like error argument. Is that it? I think so. Okay, and when it's validated, we'll say request user we had a function for that, right? Create argument. Let's say store argument here. Nah. Say save. Ooh. Save argument. Because we'll add some logic here, of course. Save argument. We need to RFC as well. RFC validated. Oh, body. Yeah, let's call it body. Body like this. By the way, lots of people watching at work. Don't you have to work? Are you also working on Laravel at the moment? Oh no. I wrote something. Is that the add error? Yeah, it's end error probably. Yeah, okay, submit. Post is not supported. That's right. I need to let's say action store argument controller RFC, and let's go to our web here. Let's say post RFC argument store argument controller. Continue. Let's go back. Yeah, submit. Yeah, nothing happens, of course. And let's actually database seeder. Let's remove all arguments. Okay. Save argument on null. Yes, which makes sense because you know, let's actually do it like this at auth and auth. Okay. And now I need to log in, of course. Let's click here. Okay, add your argument. Hello. Submit. And okay, I should redirect, of course. Return redirect action RFC detail controller with the RFC. Yeah, cool. And yeah, I don't have a vote here, which I think should be a requirement. So let's say if user, yeah, I could just if vote. RFC controller, I added that, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Hello. once again. Okay, so now we need to make sure you can only add one argument, of course. So to our user class we go. User save argument, actually. And once again, it's the same pattern as before. So argument is this get our argument for RFC. Get argument for RFC, like this. It returns an argument. This arguments, which I don't have yet. Arguments, arguments first. Argument. Perfect. So if not argument equals new argument with, let's take a look, these. And then we say argument body equals body, and then we say argument save and return it. Let's take a look. Yeah, perfect. So the first one is now always updated. So if I reseed and if I log in like this and actually give my vote, I should make sure I don't have to refresh there. But so, okay. That's pretty nice. Or arguments added. Wouldn't a creator, Adrian, you're very smart. Why didn't I think of that? Argument create or no, because didn't you need an instance? I don't know. I'm going to keep it like this then. I don't know. Okay, but something that's pretty important here is that if you haven't voted yet and you want and you vote, I want this argument form to pop up immediately. So that means we'll have to transform it into a Livewire component, I think. Yeah, makes sense. So pretty simple. Livewire argument form. Let's call it like this. And let's say it has, what am I writing here? Public user, which is nullable. And it has the RFC, of course, RFC. Okay, like so. And then in our argument form, let's copy over all of this and if user and user has get argument for RFC, like this. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. It means we'll be able to get rid of this as well, basically. That's good, that's good. We also need an event. So we have our vote bar event. So when we vote, we'll say this emit user voted. And then in our argument form, we say listeners user voted handle user voted, like so. And basically we just have to refresh this user refresh, I think, and this RFC refresh. Let's refresh everything. Is that it? Let's see. No, that's not it. But now it doesn't work. Okay, I haven't included the argument form. Duh. Livewire argument form with these components, arguments. And it still doesn't work. Let's do it like this. Let's take a look. User exists, yeah. And this user get argument for RFC is null. But I have voted for it, right? Get vote. It's get vote for RFC. Yeah. Okay, let's try that again. Let's actually just remove my vote here. Ooh. Let's remove all votes. No. Oh, it did work. It did work. Yeah, okay, cool. And then we submit, and then it's there. Cool. Nice. Okay, one more thing we need to do is to be able to upvote arguments, and of course do a lot of front end, which I suck at. But I think we have time to do upvotes, basically. It shouldn't be that hard, right? We have, let's take a look. It should also be a Livewire component, I guess. Let's say Livewire, let's say argument card, or argument detail. By the way, Adrian tells me I have a little performance issue. Go ahead and say where. Argument detail, yeah. Let's do it like this. Let's say RFC, we have this over here. Oh. Livewire argument detail. We say argument equals argument. Public argument. Yeah. So Adrian is debugging my performance issue. Oh, from issue here. You pass the RFC that has all stuff eager loaded to the form, so Livewire will update the RFC eager loads in Livewire, which are not needed. Oh. So if you pass without eager load to Livewire, it would solve the problem. Cool. I guess you're talking about like here, argument form where we refresh, right? So, and I guess you say without eager loads. I guess that's what you're saying. Without eager loads, and also in the vote bar, of course. Well, in the vote bar, we don't listen. Do we listen to events? We don't. But maybe it's still without eager loads. But hang on a second. Oh. Cannot assign. Okay. But the thing is, I did wanted those eager loads in my livewire components, because otherwise there would be some n+1 issues. But I guess over here it shouldn't be refreshed. Isn't there something like refresh? No. RFC without eager loads refresh. Could you do it like this? And that's this, of course. Without eager loads returns a builder. Yeah. Maybe it would have been better to just do this. This RFC is RFC find this RFC ID. Would that be better? Let's do it like this. Oh, without relations. Without relations. But this RFC refresh. Okay, I'll keep it without relations for now. On the outside. Yeah. Let's retry that. RFC without relations. Yeah, I think you're actually right. There are less queries now. Cool. Let me just migrate from fresh again. Yeah, sure. Like this and like this. Let's log in. Yeah, and argument says, okay, cool. Thanks, Adrian, for pointing that out. Without relations. Pretty nice. Yeah, now I'm actually running out of time. I don't think I'll be able to get these argument details fixed today, but then it will be tomorrow. So I plan on, do I plan on live streaming again tomorrow? I think so. Yeah, I hope so. Let me know what you think about this project. I hope to get it like public pretty soon. And I hope it might actually give some interesting insights in how the community feels about PHP and how it's evolving. So yeah, there are quite a lot of features, of course, we still need to implement. And if someone wants to help out with front-end stuff, that would be pretty nice, because I'm not getting any much more farther than this. No, this is as far as my front-end skills reach. But by the way, Aaron, don't say sorry for interrupting. It was very interesting. Again, I learned something new, and yeah, performance is a real thing we need to take into account. So thanks for letting me know that. Yeah, we're going to conclude, and I hope to see you in the next one. Again, if there's a front-ender out there, send me a message on Twitter or in the comments or something. Yeah, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.